What's the best art medium to use? I've tried them all. Today in this video, we're going to talk honestly about what it takes to examine supplies, decide if a medium is right for you, and how to get started with that in the best way possible. There are so many art materials to play with. I've tried all the different media: pastel, drawing, watercolor, oil, you name it. Manufacturers have a lot of different things to choose from. So beginners are often super confused as to just how to get started artistically. And then if you've been painting with one medium for a while, perhaps you're interested in switching it up. My specialty is more watercolor and oil, because those are the ones that I have decided are my favorite to use. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why that is, and also the best media that you can use to get better yourself. I'll share with you my personal favorite way to do sketches, some experimentation that I've done, and next up we're going to walk through very simple exercises just to start with tiny dabs of paint. To understand further, let's take a look at these three mediums. I've got this sketchbook paper, which is fairly heavyweight, and this neutral paper. Now let's take a look at my phthalo blue paint. Phthalo is a really strong color. I don't usually have it on my palette. I have it here because beginner sets have this color in them, and I thought it would be interesting to compare and contrast the different mediums and on different paper. For my water buckets, I could use the same one for gouache and watercolor, but I do have a separate water container for my acrylic paint. Acrylic and gouache shouldn't be intermixed. So I'm going to show you the acrylic first. I've got a synthetic brush. This is a number 8. So acrylic can tint out and it makes a beautiful color. This is really electric blue. So you can see what that's doing here. Now mixed with white, we're getting something looking like that. And white can go over this paper. You can build layers and get some good look with that. You can see the white is covering over the paper. This is sinking in a little bit and it looks much more vibrant on this white paper. My issue with acrylic is usually that I prefer working with oil because I like it to stay wet longer, and I do like the spreadability of watercolor and that luminosity. This is a synthetic brush that I have. This is good for gouache. Now we're just going to tint this out. There's the vibrancy of the gouache and what happens on the tinted paper. I do have a bit of water in my brush. This feels more silky to me. The issue that I have with gouache is that if I try to get back to the weight of the paper, it all looks very exciting when it's wet. And then as it dries, I feel that the intensity and power of gouache just diminishes and it just looks less exciting. There's a bit of drag on the paper. But yeah, it's fun to play with that material. Now we're going to take a look at watercolor. This is just a number 10 synthetic brush. So with watercolor, instead of using white, you just tint out with water to get the same look. I like watercolor because carrying over a bead of water and just thinning out, it feels good to me to make moves with the watercolor. I like how I can grab this edge and move it around, make white shapes, like let's say this is a cloud. So watercolor to me feels really versatile, and for some reason, it's hard to put in words, but these just feel a little more chunky to me, and I feel that watercolor and oil have been a good medium for me because of just how they feel as I end up using them. So that's a quick look at the different mediums and what they do. You can use gouache and watercolor together, so that is pretty interesting if you needed to get back to a white for some reason, for example in the case of that cloud. And I just wanted to show everybody the beautiful and luminous quality of the watercolor. This is still a little bit wet there, but it's really drying well. And if I compare this intensity of blue to this intensity of blue, and even to this one, I just feel like that has the most impact And I do like when watercolor has these bloom junctions where you can see the fluctuation of paint. And there is something nice about the quality of the thicker gouache in this area, but when gouache dries, it just looks a little bit more dull to me. This acrylic isn't doing too badly, but in this area, this just gets a little gray. So I just feel like this color and the luminosity against the paper does such a great job. That's one of the reasons I love watercolor and take it with me, especially for travel. It's so great, very portable, dries super fast. Next, let's take a look at oil. And here I've got white phthalo blue, and this is cobalt blue. So I'm just gonna move all of this aside, keep everything separate. Blue by itself on the panel, and then mixed with a bit of white. Really has a buttery consistency and incredible tinting strength. I have an old painting here and just wanted to show people the power and covering capacity that you could put on top of an old painting. Just to show you the beauty of a more high quality pigment, the cobalt blue makes a much more realistic blue, and it has less tinting strength, but it's hard to make a big painting with this much powerful pigment, and it does look a little bit artificial. This is a better tone for depicting nature and more subtle scenes, and in the end, cobalt I think has more of a use on my palette than this phthalo blue does. But I do have this in case I'm working on a tropical scene or the ocean. That might be useful. This will take about a week to dry, and so I want to store that pretty carefully. But do break out some new supplies and different types of paper and have some fun messing around with your equipment to discover what could work for you. Now we're going to look at more finished studies that I did on location. So the chalky quality that happens with the gouache when it's dry can be an advantage for this kind of more milky background, but I was having trouble getting it light enough. I don't know. It was an experiment that happened. Comparatively, when I look at this watercolor, to me that has such a good feeling to it. I just love those minute fluctuations of color that happen. Same thing on this sketch pad. Some beautiful fluctuations of color of the browns and the golds and the greens that I had intermixed together. Whereas with the gouache, I just felt like I had to try to achieve that with the layers, and even though it's just a quick exercise, this felt really crude to me, and these feel more sophisticated because my familiarity with the medium is definitely helping me out. Paper can make a difference. This is 100% cotton. This was a new book that I found. Also, you can paint the cover. This is an Italian paper that you can't get in the US, but happily you can place an order and they will ship overseas. So check out this brand. I was super happy with this. I probably am going to order this for more travel journals. It's really lightweight, just really trains your eye and reinforces the fact that, yeah, I like working with watercolor. So this is Stillman and Byrne, different pieces that I did. This was quick study in Sienna, just to understand some of the texture, but I did really end up liking this book. So new discovery, tried a new thing, really liked it. I thought I'd share with you my struggles in the field as I worked on this gouache painting. I filmed it with the thought of having it as a tutorial, but honestly, the speed version I think is pretty informative because you could see the progression, and I'm also working on both at the same time. So I thought viewers would appreciate just me trying something that I'm uncomfortable with, trying to learn about a new medium, trying my supplies, even though I've decided gouache isn't necessarily for me. I spent the time to pack this up in my bag and just have a go at the scene. Just trying new things is really important to get outside your comfort zone in order to learn and get to be a better painter. So I thought these were kind of fun in the end when I got back home. I'm not going to compare and contrast all the different media because honestly we'd be here for a long time. But what I can do is share with you my experience in teaching thousands of students how to paint and my own personal experience in enjoying specific mediums, and that includes watercolor and oil. A lot of my art friends have different choices, and that's great too. In these two examples, you can see the difference with Scott Christensen's work on the left and my work on the right. We painted side by side, and it's really interesting to see our different interpretation. Even if you have the same supply list as somebody else or have the same intention, the painting usually turns out differently, and that's due to an individual's unique style. The question of what is the right medium comes up because often beginners are really curious about how to move forward quickly and for the least amount of money. Let's face it, if you bought all of this material to try out each and every one, it's going to be fairly expensive. If you can find a brick and mortar store, they do have materials for you to try. Another option might be to get a few trial sets with friends and mix and match and try some things out. That's a good way to try things out with minimal fuss and minimal outlay of cash. Keep it simple. Usually you want fewer colors and fewer supplies to get started to just discover if this medium is going to be a good choice for you. However, you do need a certain quality. Student grade is cheaper and it's tempting to get that to start out with, but instead I would suggest a smaller set and better quality materials, because the better quality materials really pack a better punch. They're going to show you what your chosen medium could do. With the high quality materials, you would get better results. The color won't be washed out, they're going to spread easier, and the colors will look more true. There's a lot of choices out there, but more materials doesn't mean more creativity. It's better to keep everything simple in order to progress and understand about the medium that you have chosen. In the example of oil, it's often better to use a limited palette, which means just a small selection of colors, the primaries, and usually white. And I have made a video here, so you can check that out on just working with 3 primary colors and a really simple and easy to do exercise. Drop a comment below if you have media choices you'd like to share or a favorite way of working. If you'd like to join me for longer classes, I have a link below to join us for full lessons and online demos. The best medium is the one that helps you see clearly and paint more honestly. You want your inner vision to show up on the piece of paper or the panel. Style isn't something that you choose to do, like picking up a medium. It's something that develops over time as you work with your medium. So I do get the question a lot, how do I find my style? What is going to be right for me? So you want a medium that will have your back and give you your best outcome. Maybe we can think about style and medium and all of those artistic choices as flavors in cooking. What would be your preference? What restaurant would you choose to eat at? These are things that you might want to try out, but in the end, you settle on some favorites. What actually matters is having fun with your medium so you forget that you're using this particular thing and you just have fun creating with value, color, and your subject. Well, in summary, this video could be, hey, try anything, it's all going to be great. But to really see artistically and to grow in the fastest way possible, I think that drawing and transparent watercolor are great resources for developing your eye artistically and understanding how paint moves on the page. Okay, well, thanks for being here on my YouTube channel and hanging out today while we talked about what is your preference with art supplies and how you might want to move forward. Do give new stuff a try, but don't overthink it and keep it simple. Thanks for being here and liking and subscribing. See you next time.